Hey, welcome to the Red Couch, Csilla Rostas. How are
Hi,
you
Angie.
today?
Hi, Angie. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here with you and to chat, to have the opportunity to chat with you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have another female entrepreneur on the Red Couch because we don't have enough of them, as you can
That's true.
imagine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Chilla, we recently met through one of our common groups, the Be Her group, and I know you're located in Berlin. You're
That's
an
right.
immigration lawyer. I want to ask you to share a fun fact about you that people won't find out on the internet.
A fun fact, how my international journey started. When I was at high school and later at the university, I really loved having pen friends from all around the world. I loved writing postal letters, sending postcards, the traditional snail mail.
Mhm.
And it was so magic to receive a letter, to keep it in your hand. Compared to our modern digital communication, it's so much more meaningful and so different. And after that, later, like in 10 years, 20 years, I also had the opportunity to meet these pen friends in person. And
Mhm.
it was really a great opportunity for me at that time in South Hungary to get to know another culture, another background. And that was the way of traveling at that time. And then when I really traveled in real life, I also met these pen friends in person.
That is
That's
so
how my
beautiful.
international journey started.
That is so beautiful. I'm all in favor of bringing penmanship, pen
Mhm.
friends back to the
Yes.
table. I even have an old fashioned letterhead and starting to write letters again these days. And I also started to learn English with a pen friend in grade four. So
Yes,
funny thing
that's
we have in
mhm.
common here.
That's how I started to learn German also. It's really
Uh-huh.
good also for learning languages.
Yeah.
And I still have a lot of postcards also in the background on the
Yeah.
wall. Yes, I think this is really a nice way, so much better than the digital communication, much more personal. Of course, during the years, I also switched to the digital communication, but I still keep these pen friends. And sometimes, very rarely, I still write postal letters.
So can you tell us why you became an immigration lawyer?
Well, I really like navigating people, helping people to navigate their most challenging, most life-changing moments. And
Hmm.
as an immigration lawyer, I can support people from different backgrounds. Um, they, well, exactly during their life-changing transitions, when they change country, they change a job. And I also like working with people from different cultural backgrounds, different parts of the world. And I really enjoy advocating for those who may not fully understand their rights. And the nature of this work is really dynamic and
Hmm.
very intercultural. And this way, I can get to know a lot of people from everywhere. Sometimes clients become friends, and I really enjoy these multicultural friendships.
It is cute. And I just thought I need to introduce you to a friend of mine in Berlin, but we'll talk about
Oh,
that offline.
mhm.
And how was your journey so far? So, did you start in a corporation? How did you become the self-employed
Mhm.
um, businesswoman that you are
Mhm.
today?
After graduation in Hungary, I grew up and I learned. I studied in Hungary,
Hmm.
and after my law studies, I started to work for a law firm. But I always wanted to work abroad, to go abroad, to travel, to get to know other cultures, to meet people, to work in foreign languages, to use more languages during my work. And then I went to Italy. That was my first stop and first destination. It was European Voluntary Service. At that time, it was called EVS, financed by the European Commission, and that was the best year of my life. I really liked it. Italy is still I think, my favorite country, my second home. I really feel at
Okay.
home. People, food, culture, and everything is really amazing there. And after that, of course, I didn't really find opportunities in Italy. Also, for them, it's difficult, and they also go abroad or they go to the northern part of the country. And then I had the opportunity to go to Brussels And I stayed 9 years in Brussels. I started in the European institutions, in the European Parliament. And at that time, that was my plan to work for the EU institutions. But at the end, I ended up in the private sector. And since then, I'm in the private sector. So when I was in Brussels, I worked for a law firm. And that was where I met the world of immigration, business immigration. Clients from all around the world came to Belgium and also to France to create a company, to start their self-employed activities. And that was the time when I also created my own translation company. I'm also a legal translator. And it was really nice to coordinate translations from any language to any language. I was in the middle between the clients and the translators. So I had a network of translators, especially from French to Dutch, Dutch to French, Arabic to French. And at the same time, while working in immigration, I was building my translation company. So that was my first entrepreneurial journey. And I really enjoyed it. Languages are also part of my life. Law and languages and intercultural environment, that really keeps me alive. And I had the great opportunity to get to know Belgium, France, and the immigration system there. But I was really curious, how is it in Germany, for example? And I really wanted to work on a European level. And I wanted to learn also about other countries, to be aware of the regulations, the laws, employment laws in other countries too. And that's how I moved to Germany. And since I'm in Germany, I'm active in Germany, in Italy, and especially in Germany, but also additionally in Hungary and in Italy, in my home country. And Germany desperately needs highly skilled individuals, that's sure. Nurses, medical doctors, engineers, IT specialists, and it's still the strongest economy in Europe. So in the next some years, I'm planning to stay in Germany. Later, I don't know yet if in my whole life, but I really want to provide services and to work on European level and to be aware of the immigration systems in other countries and to support those non-EU citizens who move to the EU.
Well, that's just great because, as you know, we have a lot of people coming to us and asking us for support from, for example, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Tunisia. Okay,
Yes.
we're almost related, so it makes sense. But a lot of countries and people want to come to Europe, but they don't really know how, or they don't have the basic understanding of the differences in immigration law. And obviously, for me, it's great to know you now, so that I can also refer people to you who need support
Thank
with
you.
immigration. Yeah.
I'm really happy to support people, and especially the human part of the story, that they change country, they change their life, and that's so exciting to support them, to hold their hand, to be with them. And many times they are really grateful. For example, now I work a lot with the Philippine community in Germany, and they are amazing. They are so kind, so polite, really nice people, and it's such a pleasure to work with them. But I like working with people from all around the world. So
Yeah.
absolutely. And yes, we need immigrants. What would we do without immigrants? They wouldn't have pizza, Thai curry, pasta.
And
Yes.
you accept private clients?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Awesome.
yes.
And you're based in Berlin, right?
I'm based in Berlin. Yes, I
Yeah.
work also with B2B
Yeah.
clients,
Yeah.
most of the time directly with the HR, but also private clients, also B2C,
Yeah.
both B2B and B2C. Yes. Of course,
Fantastic.
B2C needs maybe more attention, but that's fine. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just great to hear that, you're engaged in this field, especially in Germany, because I think there's a strong need for anything that we do in global mobility in Germany right now.
Absolutely.
And and I also speak to a lot of recruiters, and they also think, we cannot continue in Germany without more influx from highly skilled professionals. So we need to think about how we can attract them into Germany. And the current political environment, it's not helping. People are afraid that maybe they would be discriminated. So I think we need to do a lot more than maybe 10 years ago in order to make Germany attractive for the highly skilled professionals we would like to attract there.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely. But also related to this, I also heard some feedback that they, for example, nurses from many
Mhm.
countries, they are afraid because of the language also that, oh, we are not ready to learn German in 6 months. And it was many times it happened that was the barrier. And many
Yeah,
times the process was really long. And we lost some clients already, and they chose Canada. They chose to
yeah,
go to Canada, for
yeah,
example. So yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes, we have to work on it, of course, to make Germany
yeah,
attractive.
yeah.
And also, as for my home country, Hungary, now, for example, in Hungary, we have real estate investment. So immigration, like residency by investment.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to buy, for example, real estate, they can get residency or long-term also on long-term the citizenship later on. There are some
Mhm.
countries where they do it. And for example, this would be also interesting to attract investors, to attract highly skilled business people and individuals who would like to invest in certain countries. And the other thing I'm really deep into now is the digital nomad visa.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of people I work with who enjoy this laptop lifestyle to travel while working. And there are many countries where they have digital nomad visas. And this is super attractive. In Germany, the freelance visa is what I usually recommend for those individuals who are self-employed or they are employees, but they work remotely, or they are really creative, they have entrepreneurial mind. And I have a lot of clients who apply for freelance visa. Also now, for example, an interior designer, there is also writer, translator. There are so many from different backgrounds and different.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, that's great to know.
Mhm.
Do you have any tips for more junior people in our field who consider maybe starting their own practice or starting their own business? What would you
Yeah.
tell them?
I think it would be super important to prioritize building a strong understanding of cross-cultural communication and the regulations of
Hmm.
different countries in Europe, but also always be curious, ask questions. The more you learn from experienced professionals, the more you grow and the faster you will grow. And it's also super important to learn languages, but not only English, but also other languages. If,
Hmm.
for example, you work with a country, it's really useful to learn the language or already to speak fluently the language of that country. But also networking is very crucial. And
Hmm.
if there are industrial events, conferences, that was how I always did in Brussels. When I
Hmm.
started my entrepreneurial journey, I always went to conferences, events, and this is a great way to stay up to date in industrial changes. If there are news or there are a lot of changes, especially in law, we always have to be up to date.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's really nice. For example, now I recently joined the Italo Lawyers Association. It's a really great group of Italian and Italian speaking lawyers all around the world. There are members everywhere in Mexico, in the US, and just 1 month after I joined, there are already great communication, collaborations, and there are opportunities to, for example, publish articles. And this is a really nice and strong, supportive community. And this is what I experienced also after my arrival in Germany. There are a lot of consultants and colleagues in our field who are super supportive. And we have also different groups, we exchange
Hmm.
information. And if someone doesn't know something, there's always someone to support or to brainstorm together, or if there are problems, to find a solution together. So I like this community in the global mobility. I think it's super
Hmm.
supportive, and this has to be like this
Yes.
because of course it's competitive. Yes, we can consider each other competitors, but on the other hand, we need each other and we can support each other and we can collaborate. So
Yes. And
that's the best. I always try to collaborate instead of competing.
yeah, and I mean, it also depends on what you do. Like you and I,
Of
we have
course.
no competition.
Yes,
We can
that's right.
easily collaborate with each other. We serve the same client group,
Yes,
even. So,
exactly. Hmm.
there's so many complementary services that do not compete with each other that I think,
Yeah,
collaboration in our field is essential. And having access to a global network is essential to move forward. I wanted to
absolutely.
ask you something else. It's a bit related, but a bit more specific on global mobility education.
Hmm.
as you know, I'm a lecturer also in the field, and education is very important to me because I feel like if we would like to bring global mobility to the next level
Mhm.
in in recognition, in positioning, in standing, I really think we need to also up level the education of the professionals in the
Yes.
field, and also develop professional standards like in any other profession, which we currently don't really have. And I was wondering, when you think about the people you deal with in HR, in recruiting, in tax, in social security, and all the related adjacent fields to immigration, what do you think they're sometimes missing? What do you think they need to understand better and learn more?
Mm, I think international employment law, to understand the laws and regulations in each
Yes.
country. Yes, the work permit application, the residence permit, how does it go in each country?
Hmm.
Maybe not as deep as an immigration lawyer, but to have like some basic knowledge or to answer certain questions. Maybe the employees can have questions, and it's super important to be able to answer these questions. Work
I
permit requirements in different countries,
I
immigration
agree.
requirements.
Yes, yes. And with the employment law, what I noticed when I was more junior, and what I also noticed with my students, is that everybody assumes that the employment law is sort of similar to what they're used to.
Mm.
And they don't understand that the employment law is different from country to country, that you
Yes,
cannot make
please.
any assumptions based on what you're used to, not
Yes.
even the validity of what a contract means, that a
Mhm.
contract means different things in different countries. And,
Absolutely.
and you know that
Yes.
there are different types of law as well. So yeah, I think that's a really relevant topic that, people need to go away from their baseline, and the baseline, obviously, we all have because we grow up in a certain environment and then we think this is the normal environment. So, becoming more interculturally sensitive also means understanding the legal frameworks of other cultures and countries better.
Absolutely. And it's difficult. It's not so easy. But education is the key. So we
Yes,
need to educate them. Yes,
yes,
recruiters, headhunters, also HR departments. Yes, that's very, very important. And sometimes HR people have also legal background. So that's also very helpful if they have a law degree, a master's
sometimes.
in law. That's really useful. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Great. I'm glad we agree on this. And
I do.
can you tell me a bit more about how you currently use social media? Do you use social media for client acquisition or mainly for thought leadership? And what is your favorite platform right now?
Yes, at the moment, I'm the most active on LinkedIn for
Hmm.
some reasons. It used to be, yeah, there were other platforms in the past for my translation company,
Hmm.
but now I combine immigration and translation. So now what I do, I understood that I think this is the right combination. The main services I do are immigration services, relocation, and employment law.
Hmm.
And additionally, on the top of that, also legal translation.
Hmm.
So I would say like 80% immigration and 20% translation. And somehow now I'm more active on LinkedIn, not really for client acquisition, but I think for professional connections, to connect with like-minded
Hmm.
colleagues and people, partners
Hmm.
also from other
Hmm.
countries. For example, it's really great to establish partnerships in different countries. And yes, I'm thinking about more social media exposure in for the future, but right now I focus on LinkedIn. As for
Hmm.
the clients, most of the time they come through referrals, recommendations from
Yes,
previous clients. That's
yes,
what I experienced recently
yes.
in the last 1 year, 2 years, rather, yes, recommendations. And I didn't even really advertise so much, but I think the recommendations and referrals, happy clients talk about my services to their friends and colleagues. That happened very often recently.
Yes,
And that's the
yes,
best. That's the
yes.
best way of word
Yeah,
of mouth. Yes.
I think so too. The good old word of mouth works the
Yes,
best still, even in the digital age. Um,
exactly.
I had a question earlier. I picked up that you speak Arabic. How
I
come?
don't, no, no, no. So when I had a
No.
translation agency, I was in touch with other translators, so I
Okay.
coordinated it. Yes, other
Oh,
translators. Yes, I always I got the request, and then I looked for the right translator in the right language pair. My language pairs are English, Hungarian, Hungarian, English. As for legal
okay.
translation,
Okay.
I speak Italian. I really love, that's my favorite
Uh-huh.
language. It's so melodious. In Brussels, I worked in French. And now, yes, German, I learned German since primary school, high school years, but I think I improved it the most since I'm in Germany. So I really love languages.
Mhm.
But for translations, yes, I work with other translators, freelance translators. I
All right.
outsource it, yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Um, and do you have anything coming up, like an
Mm.
event, a workshop, something that, our viewers could participate in?
Well, March will be quite exciting
Hmm.
because I will be in Paris in the first week of
Hmm.
March. There will be an event, is the Global Women Club event, and there will
Hmm.
be two more events. I will also combine this experience to meet some friends from South France.
Hmm.
And the other part, the second half of March, I will be in Genova in
Okay.
Italy for the conference of Italoyers.
Okay.
They organize a conference, and this is really, I think it will be really interesting because that will be the first time to meet the members of Italoyers, and they arrive from all around the world, also from Argentina, from the US, and I really enjoy well, I don't use the word networking, but I think connecting with other lawyers in this case, but also global mobility professionals. And I think this will be great to exchange experience. And it's also about immigration. The second day will be immigration, Italian immigration. And that's one of the main reasons why I will participate. And there will be also commemoration in the Museum of Italian Emigration. And that's also sounds to be super interesting. And generally, I like this community, and I think this was a good step to join. And it's also an opportunity to go back to Italy. So it will be the second half of March. And I'm planning to organize some workshops, some webinars in partnership with different local partners in different countries. For example, Turkey
Uh-huh.
is very interesting. Now I'm building partnerships with Turkey because the second biggest Turkish community outside, actually the first biggest Turkish community outside of Turkey is in Berlin. And
Oh, yeah.
yes, there are a lot of
Lots
Turkish
of,
citizens come to Germany,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and also from Mexico, I have partners. Also
Yeah.
from India, of
Yeah.
course, India. They are great in so many things, IT and engineers. I have a long-term partner in Bangalore,
Uh-huh.
and we are planning a webinar to local Indian citizens about visa types in Germany.
Uh-huh.
Then something with Mexico also, because I work with a farm and they hire a lot of Latin American veterinary doctors, for
Okay.
example.
Okay.
And that's also interesting. So now I'm having a lot of projects in my mind, and I try to focus on some workshops and to reach more clients, also to attract a
Yeah.
lot of people to Europe, because there are a
Yeah.
lot of things that Europe can offer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, keep us posted. We
I
will,
will.
also be happy to share your webinars, especially on Germany
Yeah,
and Europe. Like, if you're focusing also on Hungary
I
or
do.
Italy, if you do any webinars on how to immigrate to these countries, we're happy to also utilize those in our content because that's what people want to know. So fantastic news about that, Chilla. I'm so glad we connected. I'm glad we will hopefully become friends.
Yes,
I heard you might be coming to Zurich, and I would love to have you for dinner or go out for dinner
definitely.
because I'm not a very good cook.
I will cook something Hungarian
Yeah,
for you.
we have restaurants in the city.
Yes.
So, yeah, I look
Yes, I
forward
will
to catching
definitely
up
let
in
you know.
person.
I would love to catch up in person, and I will definitely let you know when I'm in Zurich. Also, please let me know when you are in Berlin,
Will do.
and I will be happy to meet you. Yes, that would be amazing. I think Zurich, yes, that was also in the plan, maybe even on the way to Genova, because
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out, because from Berlin there is no direct flight to Genova. So either Munich or even from Budapest, there is a direct flight.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, but it's also an option to go through Zurich.
yeah. Let me
And
know,
let's
and I
see.
look
I will,
forward
I will.
to meeting you. It was great having you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you very much, Angie.
Pleasure.
It was a
Bye
great
bye.
pleasure to chat with you. Bye bye.